Okay, AG Shadowman, this is a good one. He says running back is the number one group that he's confident in. Number two, he says outside linebacker. And then at number three, he went tight end. I like this right here because I was wondering how people were feeling about that tight end group. I mean, Pat definitely flashed at times last year. And
I think he's going to be big time for us this year. I really do.
I mean, I do as well. But my question, I guess the only reason I hesitate on big time is what does that look like? Because you threw out Kelsey. There's not a lot of Kelseys out there. So I don't put, Kelsey and him in the conversation together. But I also think of who's going to be getting him the ball. And that's the other part of me where I'm just like, even though I think Pat is going to continue to grow and be a good player in this league, his position is dependent upon the quarterback way more so than Najee Harris. Najee, you're handing the ball off to him. He's going to do whatever he needs to do. But Pat is going to be relying upon the accuracy of these quarterbacks, the going through their reads of these quarterbacks. Like, it's just a lot more that is going to, that he's not in control of in a sense. And that's why, for me, I wasn't as high on the tight end group. But, yeah, if these quarterbacks are giving us 30 and 10, like how you said, baby, then, yeah, I mean, the tight end group is definitely going to have to be major contributors in that vein. So, I get it. I like it.
Well, that's one of the things I'm thinking with him. It's funny because whenever you look back on last year, how many times did we say we got to get Freiermuth the ball more?
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
We need to keep feeding him.
Yeah.
And then low key, when you look at his stats at the end of the season, had 500 yards, 60 receptions, and 7 touchdowns, and he missed a game. So, like, I almost view that as his floor. We didn't get him the ball enough last year, and now he's going into his second season. So why can't we? It doesn't have to be Kelsey like numbers in his second season, but even Kelsey in his like second, third, or fourth year wasn't the Kelsey that we know right now, just in terms of overall production. Right. I know,
but that was also
talking with you. You were
well,
like, this Kelsey dude's going to be a problem.
But think about that was also the quarterback related as well, right? Because he had Alex Smith, and we saw the difference between Alex Smith and when Pat Mahomes came in the building. Can't we not, or do we not look at this the exact same way if we had Ben Roethlisberger last year, but now you're going to Mitch Trubisky, Mason, or whoever? I just anticipate a drop off. That's all. I anticipate the quarterback play. Off? You don't see drop off between Ben last year and these quarterbacks this year, or you think they all the same? If you think they're all the same, that's
quarterback
different.
Position?
Yeah, just quarterback position exclusively, because that has been a big reason why Kelsey's productivity changed. When he had Alex Smith played a different style of ball than Patrick Mahomes.
So
I'm looking at Ben versus these quarterbacks. That's all.
So I do think there is a drop-off between the quarterbacks. I do think what's going to help Freiermuth is obviously also all the moves that we made on the offensive line this year, and Canada so-called getting his quarterback. Now we're going to be all in on running whatever offense he has. So I don't think it's that far of a stretch. So 500 receiving, I don't see how that couldn't go up to like 700-800 as Pat becomes maybe more of a feature in the offense. And then that 7 touchdowns becomes 8, 9, maybe 10.
Okay.
If you think it's all dependent on the quarterback, I could see why you're saying maybe those numbers just stay the same, actually.
Yeah.
But if Pat gets better, the scheme is more fitting towards the quarterback, our offensive line's better, and Pat becomes just more of a feature. That's why I could see those numbers going up.
Nah, fair enough. Because I also think of, okay, the Minnesota Vikings. You don't think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback, and that's fine, but you think about the talent that he has. Has that talent around him made him morph into a new quarterback? No, it hasn't. He's still the same quarterback. He's still limited where he's limited. He's still streaky when he's streaky. But when you're telling me he has Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson, those are 2 elite receivers right there in their own right. He has a Dalvin Cook, but yet Kirk is still kind of the reason why they never consistently stay over that hump. I just look at our offense and I'm seeing similar things. I'm like, yeah, I love what Pat can do. Yeah, I love what these receivers can do. I love what Najee can do. But our quarterback has to be the one making that happen. And we can point to other examples of quarterbacks that have been limited with talent around them and how that does not equate to those guys just magically improving. And I just don't share that same optimism about our quarterback position group right now, which is why, I'm a little hesitant when I'm thinking about our skill position guys. It's more in particular the receivers and tight ends taking these big jumps when I know what this quarterback position group could potentially look like and how that could hurt them and their productivity going forward. It's kind of like when Landry Jones would come out there. AB was still the best receiver in the league, but AB looked a lot different when Landry Jones was at quarterback in contrast to Ben Roethlisberger being at quarterback.
I think it's just depend on how much Freiermuth will be featured. Okay. I don't know what the schemes are going to be looking like.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like we're that eager to get that wide receiver 3, so maybe we will be running some like more 2 wide receiver sets and more bigger personnel out there.
Yeah.
Because with the Vikings and Cousins, like Thielen and Jefferson still put up numbers.
They did.
You know what I mean? Because they're featured that much. So if Freiermuth's featured, I could see him putting up numbers. That's good for fantasy, and that's good for us saying like Freiermuth's taking that next step. But ultimately, is it good for winning? Because it does come down to the quarterback in terms of winning games. Yeah. I guess I'm just talking about Freiermuth making a jump, like just overall production-wise.
Okay, no, fair enough. Fair enough.